Adam here with Wholesale Septic Supply. Good to see you all again. We're going to go over smells in the aerobic system and what the causes can be. So we're going to give you a quick overview of things that you need to be on the lookout for, things that cause smell, and just a general overview of why you might be having a funky smell come out of your septic system or around your septic system. So the first thing and the number one culprit of smells in aerobic septic systems is the aerator, okay? So what happens is the aerator goes out, and as you can see, you can't even hear this aerator because they new Hybro XP80, and they're very, very quiet. I don't even think you can get down. You can barely hear it. So they're very, very quiet. So this would be your number one culprit. This going out and then you not knowing would cause the septic system to start to smell. Generally, it's going to take about 3 or 4 days, and you'll start getting a smell that's very noticeable. A week, 2 weeks, it'll be really bad. So every time the spray goes off, you will smell it, okay? So you could also start to smell it because the systems aren't necessarily sealed. All the pipes are open, so you'll have gas coming back. What'll happen is that gas will work itself back, and it'll start going out your vent pipes. So, if that's the case, then you'll generally on cold days it'll happen. You'll have atmospheric pressure pushing the smell down. It'll smell really bad out on the porch when you walk outside, something of that nature. So you should be alerted, though. That's another thing. When this goes off, there is an air switch inside, and generally the alarm will go off if the aerator goes off. If your little buzzer's broke, though, that won't happen. You might get a red light. You might not see it because it's on the side of the house. So that's your number one culprit. So we have a litany of aerators you can choose from and buy. This one here is a newer model. It's newer to the U.S. It's not necessarily a newer model. Been a great unit so far. Really quiet. It's super efficient. So that's just an XP80. So it's for a standard house. I'd say 80% of the homes have an 80 model type air pump on their system. So that's a great choice to go with if you're going to, think about replacing your aerator. Aerators are easy to do. You can, it's just a couple wires in here. Literally, this is the compressor. So this is where it's hooked up. And white goes there. There's your ground. There's that. I mean, it's not a difficult prospect to change this out. So you'd want to kill your power. Another thing is, if that's not it, I mean, one of the things you can do around the septic system in general is start looking around. See if you have water surfacing at the top. So these tanks are down below, but if you had a water around here and your toilets are flushing slow, for instance, that could be the source of the smell. You have a problem. You need to do a clean out. Your pump could be out. The system could be flooded with that. You have, sewage on the ground. You got a problem. Okay. So that could be another culprit. But generally, you would start at your trash tank and you'd have water building around here, and that would be an issue. You can also check your clean out ports. So here's a clean out. This goes to this first tank here, goes in there. You can check that. That's another thing you can check. You can open these. Thing is, you want to be really careful if there is a backup, because you can open this, and if there's a backup and water can't get out, you could open this up, and as you're opening it, water will start to pour out of here. So that could that wouldn't be a pleasant thing. So it's another thing you can do. So some of the issues that we'll have also is hydraulic overloading, which is putting too much water into the system before it can properly treat the septic. Okay. So if the system's rated at 500 gallons a day and you start putting 800-900 gallons a day on a consistent basis, the system is not large enough to treat that amount of organic loading. So what'll happen is when the sprinklers go off, you'll start getting a smell because the water's not treated. Okay. So basically half treated or quarter treated sewage is going out on the ground, and you're getting that smell. The aerobic bacteria really do a good job at knocking down smell. What it's not, okay, this is what it's not, because we get this phone call a lot. It's not your chlorine, okay? You can put, I don't care if you put 20 pounds of chlorine in there, it's still going to smell bad, okay? It's just going to smell like chlorinated crap. So that's generally not the cause of the smell. It's never the cause of the smell. So especially on an aerobic septic system where you do have chlorine, chlorine's not the cause, the aerator's the cause, okay? Another thing it could be is the airline could be separated. So you can see on this here, this airline comes out, it goes down. We use a hose. So the hose goes down and then it goes into the aerobic system. A lot of guys and a lot of installers, what they do is they 90 here, and what you have is you have another 90 under the ground. And when you get some settlement or things like that, the ground pushes against that 90, it separates it, and it comes loose right here, or it comes loose at the connection of the tank. I would say 90% of the time, there's no separation in between the tank and the aerator. It's always at the joint at the tank or at the joint at the aerator. So that's generally where we see, in my experience of going out in the field and looking at systems. I've never seen a separation here unless somebody did something really funky, and I can't recall that I've ever seen something like that happen. But it's usually here or there. So that could be another thing. My aerator's running. I don't get it. I don't know why. And, I still got a smell. Well, then you probably have some kind of separation in between the tanks. So that could be another cause of it. We also see a lot of chemicals. So chemicals over time, pretty blue tablets in the toilet. That's what my dad likes to call them, pretty blue tablets. Your disinfectant tablets, they're disinfecting the water. Well, they're killing all the bacteria too. So it's usually a slow progression because you're at a gallon per flush, but over time that builds up and it kills all the bacteria. So at month 6, you're getting this terrible smell. You open this up, there's no culture in there. It's not chocolatey brown water. It's not a milkshake color. It's like clear, and that's all the bacteria is dead. Okay, and that would be from tablets. Putting too much cleaning supply down there. Lysol kills 99% of the bacteria, kills 99% of the bacteria in the septic tank too. So, if the wife likes to use, 5 bottles a week, you're going to have a problem, especially if you're on a septic system. So that's not to say that you shouldn't clean, but, mechanical cleaning techniques is what we like to say. So, it's not bad to put a little bit of Comet in there and scrub the toilet once a week. We're not saying that. It's that if you overuse stuff, it'll start to affect the septic system, okay? Don't use Drano. Drano is another one that we see. I'd see it on cleanouts, and it really turns the top layer of crust really hard. It just does something really different. It takes about a week, but it's definitely not good to put Drano down the system. It's acid. It changes the pH. It just almost consistently, when we saw somebody that used Drano, there was a problem with the system, and there was some kind of smell associated with it. That's not to say that over time, as more water goes through there, it's not going to rebalance itself out and, correct itself. But the immediate fix to get so it doesn't smell anymore and your neighbors aren't complaining, is to pump the system. So that's almost always the answer, is pump the system, start over. That's pretty much it. If you can't figure all those things out, if those are none of the reasons and it's still smelling, then you should probably call a septic professional out to have him come take a look. If you can't figure it out or you don't want to do those steps there, call a professional out that's reputable, that is trusted in the community. Have him come out, look at it, and he's probably going to be able to give you an answer and fix the problem for you. So I hope you liked our video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please ask them. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.